This is like a $25,000 experiment.
Yes, it is. That's the title.
And we got like 5,000 views.
Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast. We talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, challenging norms. Quick emergency podcast this morning, a couple hours before we'd normally film, I think.
I was just bored, I'll be honest. There's no real emergency. I didn't think I could make it to 3 p.m. today without human interaction. It's tough, dude.
You can say it. Just tell him you like me a lot. You know what, Pop? I woke up this morning with a text message from our landlord from 4 years ago asking if I'd be home today to let the insulation people in. How about that?
Are you going to be?
No, Pop.
Maybe he's asking for a favor. He's like, maybe Henry's still in town.
What should I tell him? I think I'm going to say I haven't been home since 2019.
Let's see.
Athena just texted me, there's a girl in the coffee shop named Swan.
That's hot, dude. Swan.
I don't know what to think.
Dude.
The Swan time. Oh, dude, I was reviewing a Smart Nonsense podcast, and you said Johnny Yan or something, and there was B-roll in there from, like, someone's YouTube channel, like Johnny Young, and I was like, no. You see, he said Johnny Yan, like Yantan. Like, it's an inside joke for a random person.
Whoever that person was is the perfect Johnny Yan.
Exactly.
Let's just put a new random Yan in every time. Yeah, I don't know what you should say to our landlord. Be like, sure thing, rent's going to be a little late this month, and then just see what happens.
Give him a heart attack. Hey, that's a good idea. I'll do it live on the air. Sure thing. Rent gonna be a little late this month. And by this month, I mean the next decade.
I gotta give back. Wow.
You gotta give back.
Would you look at that? Julio.
Okay,
Julio
Pop.
special.
So it's early here in the California Pacific Palisade time. I haven't had a chance, really, to log on, but it is the reason we are here. We have something very interesting. We have all kinds of experiments we're running because we're running out of cash. Nothing's working. And the only other thing we can do is psychology experiments. So
on ourselves and on the team. Ourselves, we're hanging in there somehow. I mean, my hair looks terrible. My mom's like, Dylan, go get a haircut. I'm like, how often can you go a month without caring what you look like? So this is that month.
I got a wing, Pop. I'm flying away right there.
I know. I got
Flappy Birding away.
240p, but
you do have a lot of hair, Pop.
I know, it bulks up real quick. Shout
it's
out
on that
to
Rogaine.
Keeps.
Yeah, right.
It's paying off. But I wanted to say something.
Nothing like using Keeps when you got all your hair.
Yeah, then it's just chia pets.
You're a chia pet. Look at you.
Cute ass chia pet. What did I... Okay, so here's the problem. Here's why I wanted to do this early, other than the fact that I'm bored out of my mind because the dogs woke me up at 8 a.m. and I haven't been up 5 hours without human contact in a while. The reason is we got off our cadence. The last month, we've had all these exciting, sometimes scary events in our life. We didn't get to document them live. So now we get the recap a couple weeks later. Yesterday, we had something interesting, a little potential breakthrough. It was kind of, to me, like what happened in the pandemic, where you have this fucking scary situation and you're forced to innovate. We had one of those. Now, I would like to document it, and I didn't want to wait an extra 3 hours.
You're spot on, because we've still got in the queue this, like, I need to document this flight I had, right? The becoming technical.
Back to back.
And you keep pushing it back, and I'm like, it's getting more distant. Not you, I mean, like, it keeps getting pushed back, and then I don't remember, and then it's going to be long gone. So
yeah,
you're spot on.
Person ain't nobody's problem. Here's our dilemma. Let's paint the picture, because I want to walk through the struggles we're facing and how we try and squirm our way out of it, and possibly a way that improves everything. Okay, so here's our problem. the last 2 months, we've been dealing with this transition. We thought it'd be easy. It has not been. It's been this prolonged, two-sided attack. Basically.
Did you have a W's and L's and R's speech impediment?
Dude, I think it's growing on me for some reason. It's like one of those negative feedback loops where it gets in your head.
Lack of human interaction.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Not enough people shitting on me. All right, so two-pronged attack. We're getting flanked on both sides. One by the clients. We're trying to transition. We're like, hey, this is a win for you. They're like, no, change means loss. We don't want that because we're trying to move from 10 for 10, which they all bought, which isn't really working, to this new model of you just hire the editors directly that would work on 10 for 10, and you get them plus more flexible content. Been trying to square the ledges there. It's been a huge hassle just doing it for like literally 2 months. The other side is convincing our team, hey, this is in your best interest. You're going to make a lot more money, not going to have much change in job security, and we just keep on bullying. The problem is no one interprets the bullying as bullying. It's more like I'm trying to murder them, or we're trying to stab a spear through their hearts. So we've been battling that battle for the last 2 months. In the meantime, our business has, from a marketing perspective, suffered.
Okay.
So we're basically, it's just Belky and I. And we're basically back-to-back. Belky's kind of squaring ledges on one side. I'm messing with the team on the other. And there ain't no room in the middle. We can't focus on what we do best, which is marketing. That's how we got here. That's how we grew to $1 million business, supposedly, in 6 months. So, what's happened...
I like the supposedly.
Supposedly. I mean, I cannot wait till those numbers hit. Allegedly. It doesn't fit. Okay.
The NPC, non-player character. He hears alleged, he goes to OJ.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
I'm glad. I'm like, did anyone get the A to D? A to Z?
Oh, I got you, but I'm also an NPC with, moderate Asperger's.
Hell yeah. That's our company. So, what's happened? Basically, before we had a lot of demand, we sold out. We told the whole team, let's ramp the fuck up because we got to meet this demand. But the last 2 months, we haven't been marketing ourselves, so we have no demand. That means we hired a lot, aka like 20 fucking people.
We told them
to. This is all what we asked for. We asked for it from the team. We didn't expect it'd be fucking 2 months of focused on the transition. So we have 20 bodies, 20 awesome people who we want to work with, but we have no one for them to work on their content. We don't have any clients for them, aka customers going forward. So we've been postponing them. Originally, they were supposed to start 3 weeks ago at the start of January. And we're like, hey, y'all, we need some time for the transition. Let's push it back 2 weeks. 2 weeks comes. Like, hey, y'all, apparently this transition is harder than we fucking thought. How about another week? And they're all like giving like good morning, like we're stoked to be on board, all this stuff. I don't know if they're just nice people or what's going on, or they're just like nudging us in the direction. It's working if they're trying to nudge us in the direction of like, hey, don't forget us. Because now we feel guilty. 3 weeks in, we're like, we have these 20 people. Some of them have quit their jobs to join us and have this new opportunity. And we're basically telling them, hey, we got nothing for you. So you just figure out how to feed yourself. The guilt is weighing on us. This weekend, we're like, okay, these 20 people, what the fuck are we going to do with them? Because we feel really guilty just having them float around in the ether, even though this is kind of the direction we want to go as a company where we're not ultimately responsible. Like, say we had 1,000 people on the platform and there are 20 people without a client. Like, hopefully we're paying everyone enough where they can save and like it won't be a big issue. But this is like the first impression. We don't want a bad first impression with Clip, so we want them to be.
And it's the cold start problem. Like, we need all of these people so that on the demand side, people come to the platform because there's editors.
Right. We need them
immediate.
You get
it's the hard side.
So Belky and I, we basically want to be heads down, focused on getting clients for these editors, but we're not going to overnight, like today, have 20 clients just ready to go asking for an editor. So we have to get creative. what do we do? Well, the big problem that we're facing with Smart Nonsense Media was this principal agent problem of we have everyone just heads down making these highly animated ass clips and they don't work. But it doesn't really mean anything to an editor or an animator because they're getting paid regardless. If Synthesis makes this 4 or 5 day edit, which looks objectively amazing, but it gets 24 views on TikTok, what the fuck are we doing? But the editor doesn't really see a problem. They might not even see when the clips go up. Like, we just recently saw it.
Right.
So, I mean, we're like principals too, so we should be the ones caring, but ultimately we're not principals. We're just agents of the client. So we don't really, it's all messy. Incentives are fucking crazy. They run everything. But the move to Clipt was like, oh, you work directly with the client. You're responsible for them. If they drop you, you're penalized. You don't get money. That's part of the, I'll let you talk too, Belky. Sorry, I'm fucking on my
Hey,
soapbox.
no.
But so we're trying to solve it a little bit with Clipt, with you being more directly responsible. Actually, I sent you this text. I don't know if you read it because I sent you a fucking brain blast of them. But in ancient Rome, whenever they would build an arch, say for like a, how do you call it? Aqueduct? For an aqueduct.
Awkward. Yeah.
They would be like, aqueduct?
Aqueduct.
I guess aqua. Aqueduct.
I was going to try
I'm
and
say
make
it
a
in
joke
Spanish.
about your W's, but it's actually kind of like a W, so I came up like, aqueduct.
So they'd have the builder of this aqueduct or this arch right when he's done. He's like, yo, boys, I finished because the boys run everything. And like, all right, dude, that's sick. We'll pay you your money as soon as you stand under that motherfucker when we take the scaffolding down.
Yes,
I was
sir.
like, God damn. You can't cut any corners. Your skin is in the game at that point. So you just got to stand under there looking up, and they're peeling back the scaffolding, and you're praying to God you did a good job. And
Where'd
guess
you
what?
find
You make
that?
it out.
Because that's a brilliant...
This book.
Oh, it's in that wisdom book, yeah? I was going to say, a brilliant, like, historical mental model. Seeking wisdom from Darwin to Munger. You know? You
Bye.
bear
Here,
the
Bevan.
consequences of your own building. Stand under that while we remove the scaffolding.
And that's the scary thing, and I think that's why we had a lot of pushback. And plus, like, ultimately, how much control do you have as an editor of how viral, say you're making content for someone who's a no-name? You don't necessarily have all the discretion. Like, the fucking market's crazy. Who knows what like, TikTok's crazy. Who knows what's going to pop off? But we want you to have at least that mindset of, like, I am somewhat responsible for the success of these videos. Not just them looking beautiful, like a lot of them do, but actually performing. So, last problem. So 3 problems. 1, we have 20 people. 2, principal agent. 3, this anchoring. We've been fucking anchored hard over the last year because we are just a company of clips. Quit laughing. A company of clips, and we highly
I'm laughing
animate them.
because I'm realizing how long you've been awake. You've got all the problems figured out. You're like,
Dude, look at me, dude. I'm going fucking insane. What is this?
I know. I could see you shaking.
So, the last year, this whole company was founded on clips. That's why we made this whole graphic artist, time cutter, animator, captain, overseeing everything process was for highly animated clips because we had to justify charging like $1,000 a clip, which is a lot. So if you're going to do like a 40-second video, it better fucking look amazing. But guess what? Social media doesn't care about looking amazing. It cares more about looking genuine, to be honest, which is one of our big problems. So we want to get the whole anchored mindset of all clips have to be highly animated to forget all that bullshit. Let's just do content that works. Because instead of being paid per clip, we're now paid just as essentially an employee, like a 40-hour per week contractor / employee. That's just
Easy.
You do the most effective work over a standard work week. So what do we do, Belky? What's our realization process as we bake in all these problems and we're struggling last night to figure out a solution?
I think what's most important to understand is this all only makes sense in hindsight. You and I got on the phone knowing all these problems to just like waste time and hope to God something figured itself out. Because what were we going to spend 10 grand a week $15 grand a week?
effectively, it's $500 an animator that we pay roughly. So multiply that by 20. 20
Look,
grand a week.
basically, we've got no money in the bank account. We're going to be spending something like 10 grand a week. So this is a get on the phone on a Sunday and hope the solution to these three problems presents itself on a silver platter. It's kind of blurry. It's too close.
Yeah,
Henry Belcaster yesterday.
Oh, your number is right up there, huh? How about that? You're gonna get a lot of text. Well, it's the first call was an hour and 38 minutes. The second call was an hour and 9 minutes.
Oh, nice.
We'll have to blur that number.
That's a Sunday. That's a Sunday right there.
3 hours of calls, just brain blasting.
How it started off really slow. We're talking about small problems, the easy things to fix. Oh, I'm reading this book on algorithms to live by.
Right.
One for like getting shit done is you should always do the fastest thing. It depends what you're optimizing for. Forget it. We're solving a bunch of small problems because those were easier. And then we're confronted with these three big problems. But what kicked it off, Pop? What tipped it off? It was on your end.
Usually, this was all on the phone that we came up with this. My favorite part of our text sequences or our conversations.
There was an originally about 5 minutes ago.
Let it slide. That's why you gotta talk fast. But that could be the cause of the problem. Maybe I gotta talk
I think
slow.
it is.
Lee. It's all the tea. You gotta come with tea. So
I'm gonna go get it.
I think my favorite part. Get one with Swan. That's sexy minx. So fuck.
Athena's probably.
Oh, my favorite thing is like
in the bathroom.
Really, dude. How about Crystalia going right? Oh, dude, did you like that or what?
We got her on the B-roll. Work with me here. Work with me here. It's crazy. He's crazy, man. Sorry. Totally unrelated.
God, that's
Brain
the thing.
blast, Pop.
Everyone's missing these like sketchy figures, but I don't really give a fuck about sketchy people, whether they've been like on the right or accused of shit. I'm like, is your stuff funny? I'll still watch it.
It depends.
So I've
on
just
the
been
spectrum,
geeking for a while. Yeah, I mean, you can't be
I
like.
think Crystalia sent
murdering
like
people.
weird emails to like 17-year-olds. You probably shouldn't do that, but he's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know where you dissociate, but the point is, he's a fucking hilarious guy, and I think a lot of people have been sleeping on him for a while. I've just been consuming, and I love it, and this is a good video. But I don't know how that connected to Swan. I guess fucking people and stuff. But
text.
Here's the point. I just love when I get this little idea, and I'm like, Belky, here's a crazy idea. And it was one of those moments where it's just like, yo, let's fucking throw something out into the ether.
No, here's how it started.
Was it in text?
You're
I feel
like
there was a text.
No. We're on the. No, it was live, Pop, live on the air. You're like, we got 20 people. Let's just have them rip. We're 30 episodes behind at Smart Nonsense. Let's just get them in there this week. Get us completely caught up. Get them familiar with the podcast brand, our brand, and pay them to do some work. Get them stoked, and then maybe we discover a new style for Smart Nonsense.
Right.
And like that was a good idea. We were gonna run with that.
But then it was kind of like
what changed.
It was a matter of it's kind of overwhelming for Angel on one part. It's like, oh, here's 20 people coming to help you out. Now you got to worry about handing off all these assets. It's just a mind fuck. I don't know our thought process, how we got here, but basically
We
we're
also
like,
needed to
smart
review
nonsense.
10 more clips, which we hadn't done.
Oh, this was
like, that's it.
At least internally, right? Oh, that was a problem. We didn't want to do all the work there. Be lazy, I guess that's the answer. But another idea that we had was, let's award someone like $100, $500, whatever it is, for the dopest 1 minute of the podcast, Smart Nonsense podcast, that they edit. And so I think that got us thinking about prizes. Oh, but then I'm like re-unlocking everything. It was like, why would we spend 20 grand on our podcast? 20 grand over 2 weeks, 10 grand a week on our podcast, like that, or making clips for a podcast or good content, it seemed like a waste. So it's like, what's a better use of it? Well, what if we just grew the Clip brand? Like what we're trying to do right now is sell clips, sell what were our video editing services. And we're effectively trying to market ourselves. Oh, it was kind of with All In too, where we're talking about like, what do we have Kaya do on All In? Does she do our highly animated clips that stand out? Or does she do All In Talk, which is smoking us, getting millions of views, but it looks like shit? And where is the middle ground? So all of this kind of conflates. We're like, fuck using 10 grand a month or a week. Jesus, that's a lot of money. 10 grand a week on smart nonsense. Let's do something crazy. Let's take these 20 people, these 20 amazing animators, and give them a little challenge, a little contest. We say, let's take that money we would have used for smart nonsense and put it in a pool. And it's like, we just want you to make the most viral content. We don't care where it comes from. It could be anything. You could get a clip of Tony Robbins saying something racist. Maybe we don't want that. But like Tony Robbins saying something like polarizing, crazy, and it's only like a 5-10 second clip, but it gets 1 million views. Like if you do that, we want to reward you because we want this mindset of, hey, no longer is it the dopest edit. We still want cool edits so we stand out, but make it effective content.
Right. The reason edits. We didn't want to stoop so low is because how many like TikToks, Reels, YouTube Shorts do you watch that you actually, like your jaw hits the floor, you actually need to reach out to the person to do work for you? It's like none. You just scroll to the next. So we're like, our metric is like some baseline just above All In Talk that says, oh, we're still the best there is for video editing, and people will reach out because of that.
I just wrote down a term. I wasn't thinking about this before, but it's minimum viable wow.
Yeah.
What's the minimum viable wow? Where it's like, oh shit, that's amazing.
That's exactly what it is.
But you don't need constant edits. You just need that one animation that's like, wow, I've never seen anyone be able to do that before. And that happened a couple times with the clips. I don't know if you saw them yet. That we did. There were a couple that I was just like, wow. And then the rest of the video can just be fucking subtitles. It's just get that one wow, and it's like, wow, who made this? And then the rest is just like, oh, this is just good content. So that's something I think when we relay some of our takeaways back to the team, that can be one of them. But we wanted to get this point across, like, let's just make the most viral content. Whoever basically creates that most viewed content is going to get prizes. And this isn't novel.
Pop, this is dumber than that. We're like, Snapchat Spotlight did this, where they were starting their platform. They just paid a bunch of people. So we're like, okay, Snapchat probably did a bunch of R&D on that, and they rolled with it. My First Million did the same thing. Had a bunch of success with people making clips that got millions of views. It's like, take what worked, do it in your terms.
I don't really trust their metrics, but the My First Million folks, they're like, we did this little contest of like $5,000 for whoever gets the most views, which is not much money at all. They were paying us fucking like $30,000 to do clips at the start. So they just take a little bit of that money.
An agent who like works for themselves.
Right.
That's a ton of money.
If it's just you're in your college dorm, you're like $5,000. That's more money than I'd make in a month. And now I just got to get a lot of views on TikTok. Like, I know TikTok, I can do that. So what happened was a bunch of people just cut content. Some of them were even taking, like, they did a Rob Dyrdek episode, so he's someone who's recognizable. They did literally like 100 clips of this dude. And 99%
without
of them got no views.
Just the guest, Rob Dyrdek.
Right, literally. And he got like 1 million views on one of the clips or a couple of the clips. And overall, their little experiment that lasted a month, and they only paid, say, $5,000, it got them 30 million total views on My First Million. Like, oh my God, that blows out of the water anything we ever did. We never even got to 1 million views, probably total, after like $100,000 spent, which is insane.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, let's try this little incentive system because we fuck with incentives.
Oh, here's another good one, Pop. I'm like, so we figure this out. We're getting ready to roll it out. We're on the phone at least. And I'm like, Pop, you're telling me about your psychology models. I'm like, it's so cool that you can just read about a model and we can apply it. I'm like, what kind of models you got on prize giving? You're like, I don't know, like the more smaller prizes you can give, the better, because people can pocket more wins. And I'm like, so you're telling me instead of giving out a prize for the most weekly views, we run it daily. Same amount of money, 5 times as many prizes. And it's
Right.
like, boom. And we get more clips because people are incentivized at the daily level. So we get more shots
Right.
at virality.
And we can still keep the grand prize for like the weeks and the overall winner. But this daily one is like, oh, I want to be on it every single day. I like that little small W because basically a W is a W. And the magnitude of it doesn't really matter. Like if you win the lottery, it'd be much better to win a bunch of $1 million than $100 million all at once. If you do the math, it's $101 million wins. It'd be a lot better to do it that way, especially if it's random, because it feels like this lottery. That's what keeps people addicted. That's why you love your little scratch-offs, even though they don't move the needle at all.
Oh, I got 2 waiting for me tonight, baby. Just remember,
bet you
had 'em
does.
since Friday.
So we designed this funky-ass competition where basically we come to all the 20 people, and we didn't necessarily have to do it this way, but we're like, hey, we're going to pay you exactly what you were going to get paid working at Clipt, plus this little bonus. But this little bonus is actually a lot because we're fucking crazy and we like playing with incentives because we like running experiments. And here, like, let's... your camera disabled due to slow internet connection.
No, Pop.
All right, I still smell you as long as you're there.
Stick with it.
All right, so we're like, what sounds like nice round numbers? How about $100 a day to whoever gets the most views that day? Then for the end of the week, so the end of the work week, 5 days later, whoever got the most total views that week gets $1,000. And then the same thing for the next week, so 100 a day for the next week, plus 1,000 at the end of the week, and then a grand prize of $5,000 for whoever gets the most overall views. And this is basically the extent of it. We set up the experiment, have a couple things like do no harm to our brand, and just make it slightly stand out. Like we call this
everything's
amateur pro.
Everything's
cut in.
aligned here. Am I here? Please, Pop.
You're here. I hear you.
Okay, so everything's aligned. We've got these 20 people sitting on the sidelines getting stoked to work, but we have no work for them. Okay, now we can put them to work. And we can pay them what they're going to get paid on Clipt. So it mimics what we're doing.
Oh.
And then we can incentivize them for daily clips. Yeah.
No, keep going. Keep going. I'll write it.
We can incentivize them for daily clips so that we can hopefully, by the end of this experiment, in 2 weeks, take the Clipt brand from 0 followers nothingness to something. And that something is we have a portfolio, we have proof of work, maybe we've invented a new style. And on top of that, it's marketing to get these 20 people jobs. All of that and on a lucky phone call.
Like, the incentive is, if someone... I don't think we've actually vocalized this, but we should. Where if someone reaches out and we ask, hey, what clip did you see? Like, why did you reach out? Oh, they're like, I saw this clip on Kanye West. And it's like, oh, okay. You like that clip. This is the editor. Do you want to work with them? And now you're incentivized to like, I'm self-promoting. The other connection that I totally forgot about, kind of probably the most important connection, was this came up because of synthesis. And them being like, hey, our clips aren't working. We go on their TikTok, they get 36 views on these 4-day-long edits. They want to cancel. And now there's this question of they already paid $10,000 for the month. We owe them still somehow, I don't know how, but we still owe them 6 clips for this month, aka $6,000 worth of content. What we're going to do is have the 2 editors over the next week or 2 weeks finish those 6 clips. Belky wanted a week. I'm like, don't fucking kill them. Let's do 2 weeks, which is semi-normal. And then we're like, what are we doing? why are we basically having them dig holes on the side of the road and then fill them? It's a waste of, like, synthesis doesn't want them. The editors are wasting their time because the clips don't work. Let's just get the fuck out of there. So that's why we wanted to rationalize. Let's just refund synthesis $6,000. Be like, hey, Band-Aid's ripped, and let's figure out a more useful use for those two editors.
For them and for the company. If that
and that's a big thing.
Even.
Like, we could have taken the route of, oh, fuck it, we don't want to lose money. Like, let's just pay them a couple grand. We end up still making money.
Which I think most people do.
Right. Versus take the constraint of, oh, we're going to lose money. Let's just fucking lose the money, get out of there as fast as possible, and figure it the fuck out. Which, why I like how this relates to the pandemic. It's like, hey, this shit, we didn't ask for it. It's just a difficult circumstance. Let's figure out how to get beyond it. And I saw a tweet today. It's like, imagine if we never had the pandemic. Everyone would still be going to the office, spending 2-3 hours commuting to work 9 to 5 in their office job. And they would do that for the foreseeable future. Like, that would never end. That would just keep on going and going and going. And it all started because of the 1800s Industrial Revolution. That's like, oh, that's the best time to work. Like, your productivity has to be measured by how many widgets you can do on the assembly line. But that no longer matters when you're using your brain. So, again, we want people to use their brain. We set up this whole thing raving like, oh, this is a dope little contest. I'm stoked. Obviously, you're stoked because we're paying you a fuckload of money to do it. Let's see what the hell happens. And I'm swearing a lot. You gotta stop me from swearing, Belky, but I'm excited.
It doesn't even register.
Here's my question. If you were an animator, Belky, right now, and you're entering the competition and you want to win the most money possible, which I'm assuming you do, how would you approach this? Because I'm looking already at how the team approached it, and I know I would do it differently. How would you approach it?
I would, as we discussed, as we've done to win clients, I would already look at things that worked, right? I'd go to Gary V on YouTube. I'd toggle to his most popular and be like, crowdsource what was most popular. If it's a 20-minute video, I'd chop that into 21-minute clips. And I'd probably get those in, let's say it was 10 clips. I'd get those all in a day, and I'd do whatever is necessary to get those done in a day, as long as it's that minimum viable wow.
Right. 8 hours. Call it 8 clips to make it easy. Like
Call it 8
clip
clips,
an hour.
yeah. 1 an hour. 1 an hour. 5 seconds of craziness and then
you
captions.
Just set Parkinson's.
Spam.
Figure out a way. Hopefully you don't burn out, but 8 hours, just a hard 8 hours, I think it's doable, at least over 2 weeks. And you spam. That's I think, the approach. I was thinking how I'd do this too. And a big thing is yeah, just take what's already worked. That's why we originally got the MFM contract, was because we took a clip that was already viral and we just made it prettier. And it's like, oh, guess what? It went viral. There's no fucking, no need to reinvent the wheel. So I think doing that, and then just like little nitty gritty things, like making sure the face is really big so you connect with people, and then just having that one great animation to minimum viable wow it. One thing I thought too was I might not even edit the first day. I just take the L the first day, and approach it where let me spend. Well, okay, let me circle back in a second. With anything that is either viral or not, like if you look at overall content, it either hits or it doesn't. You either get 10 views or 1 million, and it's very rarely much middle ground. Like our views right now, a couple of them have several thousand, and then most of them have like 10 views. So because there is that power law, I would spend a lot of time thinking about the actual content I'm using. Like same thing in a creative field, you don't need to work 40 hours a week. You just need that one amazing idea that week that is going to change your entire business, like coming up with the Clip model, supposedly. Hopefully it works. But it's that one idea that can change everything. So I would kind of take the Einstein approach of, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking and 5 minutes actually doing the problem. So I try and think for that first day, just think entirely, oh, what would the best content be? Would it be Joe Rogan? Would it be Pokemon, like some chick gamer, or like, I don't know, Tim Ferriss. Who would it be? Figure out the clips, kind of get them all arranged, and then just cut them, and then the next day I'd just full-blown batch animate. Or I'd basically have 2 weeks of content. I'm just like, I know I have to animate all this stuff and batch it that way. But I think the difference, have you seen what was done so far?
Yeah, so about half, right? So we get these 20 people, you and I go to bed, we're like, let loose, here are the logins, post your stuff, and we'll track views.
Which is also cool. We're just like, fuck it, we just made new accounts, dude, we don't care about the logins, just fucking ship it off.
TikTok and Instagram, and that was deliberate because we thought spam, or just like a lot of content was okay on those platforms.
Right.
We woke up, and I was like, I gotta check the clips. What happened last night? And what do we have? Maybe 9 or 12 or 15?
Right. The first surprise
3, 6, 9,
was
12.
We have 20 people. Right. And when I woke up, it was about half.
Yeah. Right. So my surprise at first was, this isn't that many clips.
Right.
I was thinking kind of like we're talking about, do the minimum viable WoW and spam, essentially, because it's just about taking shots. You either get 4 views or 4 million. I was like, why didn't each person post 5 clips each? That was my first thought.
Right.
And then I was pretty disappointed on TikTok because there's not much signal.
Well, the first interesting thing, I put up a test clip, which might have been bad, and I'll say why in a second. But
a
test clip from a while back, just because I wanted to see, like, make sure everything posted right, and it, like, wasn't any issues. Plus, I couldn't get a website URL, and I'm like, maybe if I post something. I put up a video, and it immediately starts blowing up. Like, not like blow up, but it got, within the first few minutes, several hundred views, and then within the first hour, it got multiple thousand views. And I'm like, oh, shit. That's interesting.
Pop, you're talking to yourself, Pop. I haven't heard you in like 4 sentences. My AirPods went to my phone.
It doesn't matter. I basically said how that one Bezos.
Fucking hell, dude.
I'm still talking to myself, huh?
You fucking me right now?
This is the behind the scenes that you love because we don't edit out. It's all raw. I guess we'll wait. I kind of want to edit these videos myself. Just throw on some text, see how they do. All in talk. Remind me, Dylan, as I write it down, to talk about all in talk.
I'm here, Pop. Apple, figure it the fuck out, Apple.
There he is. You gotta charge him, Belky. That's why.
They didn't die. They switched to my iPhone.
How about that?
They switched to my iPhone.
Oh.
And then I can't toggle back
I didn't do it this time. I didn't do it this time, but normally I try and turn off the Bluetooth on the other one because I know that shit happens.
Smart. Hey, you were talking to yourself for a while. So
basically what I said, I know I was talking about that Chamath, talking about how to build a company like Amazon, which Jeff Bezos did. Fucking beautiful clip. Super animated, like overly animated, but it did very well. It did, well, relatively speaking, well. Talk about synthesis, their clips being dope and only getting a couple dozen views. This one gets a few thousand in the first hour. So I think one of the problems there, though, was everyone logged in and they saw this one clip and they're like, holy animation for a minute straight. That's fucking crazy.
Yes.
We have to animate to that level. That's what Dylan is looking for. That's what Dylan and Henry want out of this contest. It's like, oh, shit. I think I fucked up with that anchoring. So, kind of upset because the clips were still highly animated. They were, several of them were actually wow. I was like, oh my God, that is unbelievable. But it was multiple wows. It's like one video, you just need one wow. You don't need 5 wows. Just get one. And that's enough, and then move on and get the quantity.
The hook.
Like, there's that balance of quantity versus quality, and we've been super high on the quality. It's like, no, bring it down, find the balance, just get one. Wow.
Right. So how do we not have at least 20 clips this morning, one from each person, and we'll roll some of them here.
Oh, remember we kind of had I feel like we had a similar problem. I forget, we were talking about this a while back, but I think it's probably that anchoring. It's got to be anchoring. There's also this interesting issue that we had before where
These are crazy.
say everyone's releasing. I know, dude. Check out Kanye. Kanye was nuts. There were a couple
Hey, we'll roll it.
others that were really yeah, we'll roll all of them. But I think it's one of those where you see other people putting out dope clips, like especially if you see Koi as the first edit, and it's objectively fucking nuts. And now you're like, oh, if I go under that, I'm gonna be judged. I don't want to under animate because I'm an animator. Like I'm supposed to be doing my worth. And that's a problem we ran into before, where people were like telling them, hey, dial it the fuck back. And like, oh, if I dial it back, I'm just taking it easy. It's like, no.
What if we reward quantity today? What if there's an added prize for most clips? Minimum viable WoW still.
I don't want... That's micromanaging. I think it's more so, hey, did y'all think about this? Like, we can dial it back. Like, for example, we take one of the clips. Say we take that... I'll just go with the Kanye one because it's top of mind. We take Kanye. And the first awesome creative animation, that's WoW. Then from there on, from that 3-second mark on, just do subtitles.
Holy Kanye.
Subtitles.
Holy
I
Kanye.
think in the black and white lines that
Dude, keep watching
I've been
it.
programmed
It's
to
fucking
think
sick.
in. And I think in full color. So when I'm taught,
Right.
I have to
So
describe a thought
this is on the same
in 5
platform.
ways.
Not to pick on All In Talk, but like All In Talk works. And the audio and video are not timed. The pictures are goofy and floating in it weird. This is too much. It's fucking amazing. This will get you work. But we're anchored.
Anchored
This doesn't
hard.
feel like the platform. It looks like an ad. I would scroll away from it immediately.
Right. I think it's just genuine, real people is what people want. Like, I watch stuff on TikTok and Reels. Even if it's repurposed, it's shot. I know it's shot with high production quality, but the person who edited it doesn't feel like they're incredible. Like, it doesn't feel like they've been trying. Like, when you see something like this, you're like, oh, someone's trying to make money off of this. It feels like there's intent behind it. And I think that's part of the problem. It's like in the dating world when you like clearly have an agenda. People are really like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just have fun. Like, go with the flow. And doesn't feel like this is just have fun, go with the flow. With most of them, it's like, oh, I'm clearly trying to do something with this clip. So I looked back at All In Talk's clips, and their most recent viral one, which had 200 and something thousand views, it's literally just Chamath talking. No editing. It's Chamath, Polyhapatia, Social Capital, ex-Facebook exec. And it's just him talking with a little background music. And it gets 200 and something thousand views. And I'm like, this is a battle we've been fighting in the past, and we're trying to overcome this villain because we know we can do better than this. We can take this, but it is such an interesting problem of, hey, the most important, like, what is the 80-20 of making clips that go viral on TikTok and Reels? It's picking the clip.
Right.
It's not the editing.
It's the hero's journey of a clip. It's the storytelling in a clip.
Which it's interesting because we might be testing the wrong things or evaluating the wrong things. Where, again, if I were to approach it, I would approach it 55 minutes just figuring out what's the right clip, watching a ton of the most viral content, and then taking that one nugget and condensing into an awesome story. But none of that is editing. I could edit a more viral clip than any of these by just picking the right clip and putting
So I'm
on.
thinking to a motion graphics artist, everything is an ad or a highly animated clip.
Right.
But
that's also all they've been working on throughout their careers. Where it's someone told me this is going to work. Now animate it. That's been my job.
Interesting.
Because part of why I thought about this more was because I'm thinking, oh, what if we just use the same model for when we're hiring? Like, oh, you want to join Clipt, the platform. Let's take these same contest rules and apply it to you. If you get 100,000 views over a week, we're going to like pay you your normal rate. If you get 100,000 views, you automatically make Clipped. If you get 1 million views, we will automatically hire you plus send you $5,000 for getting 1 million views or whatever the prize is. That's an idea I had, but then I'm like, I don't know if that's measuring the right thing. Like, what do we want to measure? Because usually when we put someone on a team, half the time they're going to have their own creative team. That's like, oh, this is the right clip. They're picking the clips for them, essentially. Just, oh, make it beautiful now. But the other half, it's like more so like a synthesis. I don't know. I think they pick the clips anyway for us. But it's a lot more we're responsible because they don't have one person directly like, oh, they don't have the marketer on their end doing it. They just have another creative person. So that's why I was like, oh, this is a really cool idea because it would benefit us. It's just like, oh, we'll post the content and just see how it performs, and that's like how we're judging you. But I don't know if it's measuring the right things that we want or that matter. How responsible is this person for viral content? It's kind of like,
especially if they get matched up with someone who's just boring or doesn't have viral potential.
Here's the point. Yeah, I guess.
Although
you could kind of cheat your way, right? If you just pick, because we're telling you, oh, you can pick anything. Oh, you pick Barack Obama giving a speech, and it's something cool. You know it's going to do well. You don't really have to animate much. But maybe that's just a good trait to have of like, you know what is going to perform, and you've done the research. So if someone gives you a shit piece of content, you're not afraid to tell them, hey, you're boring as fuck. This isn't going to do well. I know what does well because I got 1 million views in a week in the trial for Clipped. Trust me.
Huh.
Something to
That's
to
interesting.
Play around with.
You know what else is interesting? Same clips doing differently on Instagram. And by differently, I mean one clip would do 15 views on TikTok and get 4,500 on Instagram. So then I'm like, well, does this animation kind of have a place on Instagram?
Versus TikTok?
Versus TikTok.
Well,
does it actually make sense there? Because it's a slightly more polished platform.
That's a good point. That I didn't consider.
So basically nothing happened on TikTok. Then there were like 2 that got several thousand views on Instagram, and they're the same clips.
The magnitude was kind of similar though. Like the best well, not in all cases, but the best performing clips on Instagram also tended to be the best performing on TikTok. Just it wasn't a power law system; it was linear. So
which could mean there's more users on Instagram, or something about the time of day.
It could be the algorithm. And they're both new accounts, so it's just like, oh, Instagram's willing to take a risk on a new account versus TikTok. They're not going to take a risk. I don't know. It's tricky, but since so much of, I don't know. It's also one of those battles of if we're moving in the video editor direction, does it matter if they're amazing editors or animators?
Yeah, my big thing is, like, we probably got to move away from the animation.
Right.
Like Matty Apoya comes to me, and he's like, I upload a 15-minute vlog. I want somebody to give me 10 short-form clips from that. Nothing about being animated. He just wants to have an editor dedicated to short-form content. So it gets back to that, person who knows what's going to have the most reach in viral content. And it's not animated.
Right. if they effectively pass this screening process of, oh, you've done cool edits, you know how to make cool videos, the second part of the process is let's test the application of that. Like, for Smart Nonsense, what would I love to hire that I want to hire right now? It's someone, like we're hoping Angel is, where here's an episode, just put up the best clips. Don't spend a lot of time on them, just take the best clips and throw some subtitles on it. Maybe put a cool animation at the start to really hook someone. But beyond that, we don't need anything, because that's not what performs best on TikTok or Reels.
It's all intuition. I'm watching Casey Neistat's monthly course. Watching him edit, mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. There's like 10 times in the edit. Well, there are just like 10 times in the edit where he's like, I can't actually explain to you what I just did because it's all intuition. It's like literally, move this here, I hit the space bar. Does it make me feel good? Yes. I go with it. It's like Angel's got the intuition. All of our editors have the intuition. Our motion graphic artists have different intuition.
Well, that's what's concerning to me. Because first, there are 12 clips, meaning half of the people in this contest did not submit a clip in the first day. So you're not going to win the $100 prize if you don't submit a clip. Granted, I said if I were to approach it, I would do the batching where I don't submit anything the first day. But I don't. My guess is people aren't approaching it that way. They're just like doing 2-day edits and hoping that's going to go more viral. But now I'm like,
oh no, those are going to be so animated.
Right. And so this could be an us problem of our amateur pro term, which is still like not super clear on what we want. So maybe like minimum viable WoW makes more sense. I'm not sure.
Even WoW tripped people up for a long time because they were always trying to do more because they didn't know where they ranked, essentially.
It's this interesting battle of, for us it's intuitive, but we have such a different background from our editors and animators that our assumptions are often incorrect.
Right, like do they understand
they would be motivated by
the right clip with just messy jump cuts will do 100 times better than, like you said, you could edit a more viral clip than these. It wouldn't be as pretty, but it's like we're talking about two completely different things here.
Right.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's an anchor.
Well, hey, that's where we're at.
You were hired for this. So
that's where we're at.
Where we're going to go, I guess we'll keep everyone updated as we go. I'm in favor of this in general. I like pushing people in the you're responsible for the success of your videos. I'm curious, that intuition that we talked about. Do some people just have it and some don't? Is it trainable? Should we be testing for it? I don't know. I don't have the answers.
It's probably trainable. We got a lot of it from building a story brand.
I think my hope was when we kept it super open-ended. We weren't like, oh, you have to pick either All In or Tim Ferriss and edit one of those clips. It's edit anything you want, whatever you think is cool. And hopefully they would pick content that speaks to them as a fan so they know intuitively what would perform well, along with what's just done the most. So if you love Casey Neistat, you would go to Casey's page, take the most viral video, and you already get that intuition of, oh, this part of this already viral video is going to do the best. It doesn't seem like that's the case. So we got to dissect that. We're going to.
The other thing I'm worried about is our hope was with 20 people and limited constraints, we would see a lot of variation in what they're putting out. And first of all, not everyone got something out, and they all kind of look the same. So what the heck's going on there?
It's mimetic, dude.
It's mimetic, exactly.
Everyone just copies each other. So if the
That's why I want to be like, yeah, like today, who's that? Either Chloe Abraham or the Ellie Singh, Singh. There's a clip of her. It's just like punching in captions. Yeah, just be like, today, everyone do shit like this.
I hate micromanaging, but anytime we really open it up, we just get disappointed.
Yeah.
Except, okay, two different. One, when we opened it up originally, it was like, oh, make a 2-minute clip. And we did amazing, like mind-blowing clips, but now we're too mind-blowing, and then we try and do these things, and it's hard to get removed from that anchor.
It got 3 likes on TikTok.
Oh, what's
Why
interesting,
can't
too,
he just be on the screen the whole time with those texts? No, I don't want to go to Einstein. Just this the whole time.
So you're saying...
I'm saying this at the beginning still at least feels like it's supposed to be on TikTok. And then it's like, oh, hey, this is an agency. Get me out of here.
But I want to watch this. Well, okay, let me just point out my interesting thing first. Bill Gates one, which it was a TED Talk, so I feel like they should have had video for that. I don't know why it's all animated. Maybe there wasn't. But, no, there's got to be a video for the TED Talk. That, look at the reactions there. Look at the, I don't know what you call them, interactions, likes and comments.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Hold up. I'll have to load it inside. But what about him?
What?
I can't, for some reason, I can't load Instagram.
Basically it has 3,000, over 3,000 views, but it has 1 like. That's interesting. Versus Simon Sinek's has a similar amount of views, slightly more, and 85 likes.
Wait, but 1 like on Reels or like 1 like on the Instagram feed?
I don't know, it's the same.
That's
also interesting, one person...
Weird.
Gary V video, they posted Gary V, but they didn't post it as a reel too. So it's just like a funny little test. Like, oh, you made this dope video, but you just posted it wrong. Like, it's kind of a silly little test of like... I guess Will Smith did it too. That's kind of why it fucked Koi, and he didn't get 10 million views instead of...
You know what I almost want to do? Maybe tomorrow? I want, like, you and I to spend a day cutting clips. And post them.
Yeah, can we try and beat them? Oh, maybe we add this to the contest. If we beat you with no editing, like we set the baseline. There's something there. I don't know. It's like if we beat you, if we get the most views in a day, there's no prize for that day.
The only problem is then we gotta be editing kind of the bot for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but maybe we fucking have like Ken or someone just like cutting clips. We just pretend it's you. But they're gonna be like, oh, well then.
Well, do we have a video?
Will they naturally?
Oh man.
Or maybe we just have a plant, dude. We take like one of the people and just be like, yo, just trust our system. Take these videos, cut the best clips.
Yeah, let's brainwash someone to do what we want to test.
And
get 5 clips out a day.
Just fucking listen to us.
Look for the most popular. Put out 5. No animation. Or,
but
1 hero animation. I don't even know if you'd put it at the beginning. You almost gotta hook these people with shit on these platforms.
I'm so confused, dude. So Matty Hapoya, he's like, just take the best clips. That's what I'd want for Smart Nonsense too. But then the most important trait isn't having a wow editor. It's just having someone that can take and cut clips, like has intuition. Like that's more important than the actual editing skill. Like that's why you love Ken, is because he just does great vlogs, just out of the box. He's awesome. Make me question things, Belky.
That's precisely right. Which is why I'm like,
but no.
We
but
can have clipped. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I love the fuck out of the Untold videos.
Everyone was using Internet Explorer in the early 2000s. Literally everyone. Yahoo was once the most valuable company on earth, the undisputed king of the internet. There are a lot of video conferencing apps, so why do we all use Zoom? Founder Eric Yuan wanted to build a video app long before he could. In college, he had to take 10-hour train rides just to visit his girlfriend. He dreamed of a way to see her without so much hassle. He moved from China to Silicon Valley, taking a job at WebEx.
Those are so good. And it doesn't...
If you already have a brand. If you're starting from zero, those don't matter.
Right, but we're kind of going towards people with at least semi-brand.
That's fine. That's where I'm like, keep Clipped White Glove or Clipped Boutique. You know. But it's like, I don't know why. I don't know if we can hire any more animators. We have a fuck ton of people that don't move the needle, unfortunately.
Well, it's interesting because the needle today doesn't get measured by quality. It's just quantity of views.
True.
Just how viral are you? I'm just like, where does the world of animation make sense? It makes sense in ads. And we don't really want to be in that world. Some people do. But that world also... It just depends. Who is the person we are selling to? That one person. Like, are we selling to Henry and Dylan? We are the target market. Or is the target market Chamath, who has a team and $30,000 a month to spend? Or HubSpot, who has infinite budget and wants to do paid ads?
But the problem is, they may have infinite budget. They may want to do that stuff. If they're not getting views, they're just like every other human being that wants to be loved. And they fall off.
So what are we training?
If we're putting out shit,
MFM's this is
putting out shit
though.
and getting views, and they won't shut up about it.
Right. That's all that
too.
matters because it's the easiest metric. And all they talk about is downloads. It's just the metric. People are bullshitting when they're like, oh, this feels better. It's higher brand quality. No, just fucking views. That's what people care about.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting question with Clipt because maybe Clipt is like, we give you a viral video editor. It's not necessarily the best, but they're trained in like, oh, this. But I don't know, dude. It's like,
it's hard to promise.
I hire a viral, then I expect viral videos for Smart Nonsense. I don't expect that. I just expect good content over time. It's going to get traction.
It's almost like a silly games win silly prizes. It's like our silly game is like viral views.
But that is the game. That's what
I know it's the game. It's just like...
Dude, I'm just like curious, where's the perfect middle ground? I almost actually, what I kind of want to do is take one of these existing edits, download it, and do the SRT Plus version where you get the dope thing in the beginning. Like you get the dope wow, and the rest is just subtitles. I don't really want to edit that, but I want...
What if we tell...
Like Clio does super well. Why does Clio do well?
Yeah, what if we say for all these clips, take out all the animation layers and just post them for one. Then do the same thing. Like, let's run tests. Just post your clip with the talking head and jump cuts. Then just post your clip with the talking head and, like, the highlighted captions that TikTok uses. And kind of show them, like, now we have no editing, SRT, and highly animated. See for yourself.
No, but I think they believe us. Well, to some extent. Like, you have to believe because no one edits video. Like, all these viral videos on TikTok, they're not being edited by anyone professional. And they're getting the most views. So I feel like intuitively, kind of has to make sense. It's just like, to the man with a hammer, everything's a nail.
I know, dude. But if I was editing here, this whole feed would be my clips from Monday. Right. I would post 15 clips. Why did they spend 8 hours making these pretty things?
Some even, on average, it's over a day because half of them didn't make clips. But this is where I don't know. I don't know how responsible we want to be for the success of content.
Well, I think if we're...
Because, say, a part-time YouTube Academy person hires us. Yeah. What do they expect? They're a no-name with a new channel.
They're not going to expect anything like us.
But,
but they would be thrilled, and they wouldn't shut up if they got a bunch of views.
Right. Yeah, part of me is... this is kind of the strategy for a new channel, and it should be our strategy for Smart Nonsense, is just, you're going to grow by getting exposure on TikTok, and then people are going to switch over to the long form. Kind of the same thing where if I'm a new YouTuber, which we effectively are, part-time YouTuber Academy, take it. I hire one of Clip's editors. I want them to say, hey, I'm just going to do the bare minimum edit because it doesn't fucking matter at this point. Like, let's just get quantity in. I'm going to invest all my time in just getting a bunch of clips on the internet, on TikTok. So give me, like, the login. I'll just fucking post like crazy. That's our goal, is just blitz. And then, once we have more traction, we can improve the quality. But do we want them to be good at both is the question. Because it's kind of... Or are we responsible in the onboarding of, like, we just set the strategy? Be like, oh, how many followers do you have? Oh, none? Okay, this is your strategy. No fucking time. You just want an editor that can do clips. Maybe you have to point them in the right direction of, like, what clips do you think would perform best? And they just execute? Or do we want editors that are intuitively doing that on their own? Because I would love the hands-off, where they just pick the clips and put them up. That's what Maddie wants to do. I don't want to direct.
I want to see them taking a lot of shots on goal. I want to see them taking a lot of shots on goal, and then every once in a while, there's a lot of views.
But that's where, like, the old world is meeting the new world. Old world was highly animated clips with animators. New world is editor focused, not highly animated, just executing. But then, do you need world class for that? What is world class? I'd prefer world class in picking the most viral content versus world class and the animation will be slightly better. But it depends, because some people are already at that giant level. Although Sam and Sean, they're already at a larger level.
David Sachs too, and what's doing better? And what gets them views?
All they care about is all in talk. It's kind of at every level, all you care about is views. That's it. So what the fuck is our edge? Talk about, like, an interesting new platform. Like, instead of competing with Fiverr, say on, we screen for the best, which they already do, but we do it in, like, an Uber way where you order and they just show up. Like, that's one way to compete. It's a slight change, which could work. Or, unlike Fiverr at all, we just specialize in viral videos. That's our thing. It's like, you hire the editor, and they, like, I see a ton of videos on YouTube and Shorts and Instagram, TikTok that have fucked up grammar and fucked up spelling. And I don't care. I'm like, it's great content. Like, I'm watching the video. I don't really care if the subtitle is 100% accurate. Some people do, some people don't. But, the all in talk is shit, and it's getting a gajillion views. So it'd just be an interesting platform if maybe we still kept the Uber model of, hey, we screen, make sure they're good enough editor-wise. We don't need to have the super high bar. But we kind of teach them where they have an intuitive sense of how to make good videos. I don't even know where the intuition comes from. Is it from, I want to be a fan? If I'm a fan of your content, I have the intuition. If I don't give a shit, like if I had to do women's baking videos, I'd have no idea what like makes a good. Maybe I'd kind of know, but I'd do a much better job if it was Tim Ferriss.
Yeah,
Maybe, because I could pick out the polarizing content. But I'm not sure how much of it is I'm a natural fan of this versus, oh, I have this universal intuition of what makes a good story. Some sort of mix, I'm sure, but I don't know. The bigger question, again, is what is Clipt the platform? Because we know viral is all people care about at the end of the day. Like, actions speak louder than words. People are firing us because we're not getting views. People only talk about the views they get. They don't talk, like, how often does Zach say, oh, the edit's amazing? He's like, oh, no, it's popping off. That's what they talk about.
Chamath
And the
emailed
secondary
me. This is doing
benefit
really
it
great
also looks
views on his early clips.
Right. And then all the shit I see is like, oh, this edit's really dizzying. Like, just give me the person talking. Like, just find me the good clip. Do that part of the job.
But
And
then
that's
it's
it. I don't
like,
want to watch the hour-long
you don't
podcast.
need an animator that makes however many
Then you could
$1,000
just
a month.
It's
to
almost
do
like,
that.
let's just go in Descript.
Hey, I gotta go for a walk, Pop. There's a lot of juice here. It's like strip it. These platforms reward quantity. Because when you do quantity, something works, and when something works, you get views. And when you get views, David Sachs talks about views. So it's like, what are we doing with the best motion graphics artists in the world?
Easy.
If we're not an agency doing
dangerous
ads,
question.
like call-in ads. That was sick, but it got 0 views.
That'll take 70 minutes.
Thanks for having me.
What if we had... Yeah, I mean,
Literally.
you could have chopped Sachs talking about Colin on our Zoom call into 100 clips and got more signups. But it's a different game, so I don't know. I gotta let it breathe. Got to let it breathe.
Hey, this is a behind the scenes of... This is what our actual calls are like. Glad we finally recorded one of these. Where we question everything. The daily roller coaster. Angel, put this puppy at the start. I don't know. We'll stitch this
How
together.
about
But
that?
Belky, we got a lot of questions to think
Pop.
about. We'll see what we're like by the time this
no.
episode drops in like 2 months.
Oh, no, okay. All right, Gardaloo.
All right. Gardaloo. You got it. You got it. I told you
We're
to
back.
close it, but
We're back.
Yeah.
The best we have, they can do Matty Hapoya, Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, Colin, Will Smith. That's fine. For Henry Belcaster Vlog, Smart Nonsense Podcast, Untold, every other new thing, I want to pay somebody $2 an hour to absolutely obliterate TikTok. I might
Obliterate,
actually
dude.
do it. I might actually go find somebody to go through
I
all of
actually
my
want that.
vlogs
Scratch my itch. Right. Same thing with the
and
pod.
fucking grow me.
Grow me through sheer quantity. That's it. I don't give a fuck about
I
our
don't
brand identity right now.
care. Casey Neistat, I watched him do an entire monthly movie on his iPhone. It doesn't look good.
Oh, this is the
But he had-
bomb, dude. This is the bomb your
It's
guy was
the
talking
bomb.
about.
It's the bomb. Content bomb. I want to go.
Holy
I mean,
fuck,
I don't
dude.
know if this is a completely different business, but I have 0 followers, essentially. I want.
No, dude, it's spend.
I want 10,000.
$4.95 for a month-long content bomb.
$495 a week.
It's just like no. I'm saying $4.95 for the month. It's just get me a content bomb this month. You just get a dude nonstop bomb. I mean, here's the question.
I'm
though.
going
How many
to.
people have that much content?
I got
Well,
a
it's
lot
kinda-
of
maybe it's like
content,
a
Pop.
one-off
You got a
service.
lot of content.
I would pay the fuck out of a content bomb right now.
I'm so
A Smart
curious.
Nonsense
I will
content
start.
bomb?
There's so many good moments. And You put any of our best editors on it, they're going to get 1 moment out a week. We need 1 moment out an hour. It's the Gary V.
Right. I mean, you could quantify this content bomb and be like, oh, we're just going to get 100 of your best pieces of content out there. Hey, $500, we'll get 100 pieces. It's $5 a clip.
Oh, man, I'm so confused.
Like, if I'm trying to grow today, it's the content bomb. That's what you do. You there's no penalty, because no one is on Instagram, a little bit of a penalty, but on TikTok, zero penalty, because it doesn't matter. Like, people following, that's not even a fucking thing.
And because of that, like, it's less valuable. But if it's cheap and easy, I guess I'll go find an editor. Because it wouldn't be
I think this is where
cost-effective.
the most important thing we talk about.
Like,
There are benefits on both sides. Okay, right? You talk.
No, that's all I got, Pop.
Well, I think there's one side where make the content in the first place, right? We're scratching our own itch. Well, we hired a Ken or an Erica just to get the raw content. But you also need the content Unabomber who just comes in and just sees everything you've ever done. And it's like, oh, I watched an hour clip. This is good. Let me just cut it. Throw some subtitles. Post. Cut.
This is what it is.
So,
World-class editor, say a Ken for a vlog, an Angel for this podcast, clips. That all works on, like, YouTube and above. Like,
right.
You need
where
that intuition and edit
you
on
get
YouTube.
penalized.
Yes.
You can't just do sheer quantity on those platforms.
Correct. Quality does matter. So I would not have the Unabomber edit my vlogs on YouTube. However, I am going to have the Unabomber take my 250 vlog episodes and nuke them on TikTok.
Right. Right. And potentially Instagram if you just make a new account, which you should if you have. It doesn't have to be a personal account. It could just be like Henry Belcaster Vlogs, and you don't give a fuck about spamming that.
I'm so curious.
As long it's like spamming with good content. So if we were to change the copy on Clipt, it's hire world-class YouTube editors or hire world-class video editors for YouTubers.
We're playing the wrong game.
Potentially,
Untold
but
is
we also don't
the Untold
know.
is we don't know, but like the Untold
I'm still kind of
works
convinced.
on YouTube.
Okay, go on.
I think it's good on YouTube. I think you can justify spending. I wouldn't spend that amount of money personally to kickstart something at zero. I'd test a bunch of things first, but you can justify it on YouTube. And you wouldn't be surprised if you got 100 views on YouTube. And actually, that's not a bad thing. On TikTok, 7 views for a $1,000 clip, there's no justifying that. So I think we might actually, just like we focus on Twitter at the start for tech companies, we probably need to focus on YouTube for podcast vlogs. I don't know about clips right at the moment.
Right.
And I'm gonna get the Unabomber on shorts, and that's a different tier. It's a sloppier tier.
It's Uber slop, dude. There's Uber black.
It's Uber pool,
slop.
literally. It's Uber pool. We're having our Uber black drivers do pool.
Right.
But you're supposed to get Uber pool and Lyft like you get the car with the shag rug,
riff-raff, dude.
the riffraff, and that's fine. That's fine. But TikTok rewards the riffraff. And we're out here with our Tesla all-black Model S Uber Lux. We're in the wrong place.
Right.
Unabomber, dude. Where am I going to find the Unabomber?
But does this mean we can still... I want a Unabomber bad, dude.
We're going to beat everyone in this competition with...
It's kind of like I'm picturing an add-on. Like, you're a YouTuber. You already have video content. Oh, get the Unabomber add-on for an extra $100 a week.
It's funny. It's funny.
The upsell, Unabomber upsell. And then some people don't like. That's all in needed was a Unabomber. That's all MFM needed was a Unabomber.
They literally had the dorm room Unabomber. The All-In Talk guy told
Literally,
me.
yeah, he's just a college
He like
student.
doesn't edit videos. He was like, I just do this sometimes for fun with a friend. He's like a 40-year-old English teacher.
And
He's a 40. He's literally a Unabomber, smoking us.
He doesn't know how to edit videos. That's the
It's
type of
embarrassing.
quality we need.
Yes, you want Unabomber by design. iMovie by design. You need the limitations of iMovie. It's gotta look like shit. I'm gonna pay somebody $150 a week for this month to Unabomb.
Yeah, me too. Let's just.
Hashtag.
I mean,
me too.
We can take someone from our team already to Unabomb it. Like we can kind of. Because we also have a fuckload
Pop.
of people.
They're expensive, and when you're expensive, you edit expensively.
You're trying to test.
You need
but
somebody.
You give them a quantity limit or something, or like a quantity. You tell them, hey, no fucking editing. Just again, it's the 55-5. It's like all your time should be spent finding the clip. It's not actually editing the clip. Once you find it, it's there. It's gonna go viral. Just find it.
I think they're too good. You need someone whose PC is so shit. They've got all the hotkeys. They can just they
hire
rip
me, dude.
through
What'd you say,
content.
$150 a week? Dude, I got the most hotkeys, dude. I'm QW all day in Premiere.
You do
can't
have a lot of
stop
hotkeys.
me.
You would actually be a better Unabomber, I think, than our best video
Dude, look at
editors.
me. Look at my hair. You're telling me I'm not a Unabomber right now.
You're quick with it. Sick with it. You know what I like about
You're
Clip?
just too fucking sick
You're
with
fucking sick with it, dude.
He looked at me up from his glasses and he goes like this, there's really nothing I can prescribe you. I said, but you're the doctor. And he said, I know, but there's nothing we can do. You're just too sick with it.
He said you're too sick with it.
And I'm like, that's why I'm nasally. And he says, that's my best guess.
So you're
said.
too sick with it. So WIDD.
T, yeah. Or D. I don't even know, but he just goes, you're sick with it, man. You are sick with it.
I haven't been on like a client call in 10 days. And I can just have these large blocks of uninterrupted time. To do
Now you know how I've
Unabomb
been
shit.
feeling for the last 6 months.
Yeah, right.
But that's it. There's something here. It's to scratch our own itch. We don't personally want highly animated clips for Henry Belcaster vlogs or Smart Nonsense podcast. Like we don't want.
Oh my
them.
God.
We just want them
Yeah, you
going
just
up, going up automatically, hands off.
Dude, if somebody put up, like from last night, if one of those clips was me from the vlog, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? You thought this was going to work? It doesn't make sense.
Well, here's what was funny was one of the clips was Dharmesh from HubSpot, and I'm like, why of everyone that's viral on the internet would you pick Dharmesh? He's like the least publicly known figure you could pick. Is it just because that's top of mind, or like did you expect that we want you to do this? I don't know, but the logic just didn't make sense. That's why I'm like questioning everything. But again, it's a scratch your own itch. Like that's what we do. Our itch is we want the Unabomber, but we also want high quality
Clip
long
needs to
form
be YouTube.
or like raw content. Right.
I think Clip needs to be YouTube. Also,
But
you can get away
you know how
on
we
YouTube.
hate YouTube.
That's the only thing we're actually still on, though.
Well, like that's the thing. What we were talking about yesterday with YouTube Shorts, they have shorts, but a short goes on your channel feed, and that's kind of more important. So you don't really want to spam that. So it would make a little bit more sense to have that be a higher quality edit, even for a YouTube Short. Then maybe it doesn't need to be, but like it could be more warranted there. Is my point, but. Yeah, I think I'm always a big fan of just honing in on the niche and the niche is clearly YouTube, because YouTube, a little bit Twitter, because Twitter is more, you can't spam it like a TikTok or an Instagram. But you can just put the editing in the YouTube video and just cut it out for Twitter and keep the same dimensions and everything. Like, you know how on chain they're just like, oh, do normal like 16:9 normal YouTube dimensions. Let's just put that on Twitter. Like, we don't need the square, we don't need the whatever view, vertical. So Clipt is hire world-class video editors for YouTube.
I think it's gotta be, because that gets you part-time YouTuber Academy market too. And the monthly, dude, in my monthly class, you have to give feedback to the other people in your peer group. Their videos were so shit. I forgot, like, there are so many people on the internet making videos. They were so shit. I don't know how that relates, but I was dumbfounded. I was like, oh, I might be getting no views. We're making really fucking good content. Because most of the world is shit. And what we're watching is the 0.1%.
Can you just tell that to Valentine? Who, for those that don't know, he's the monthly founder. He was a year ahead of us at school. Can you just email him, be like, yo, I'm in this class. I just saw the edits. Can you put up an offer, like, we'll discount the 50% off our editors? Just
no, but
like
it's also a personality
a week,
thing.
Oh, they're just shitty. Right, like, a couple of the people
I'll
we're
have
working
you
with, I
log
see
in,
their
look
clips.
at my peer group. No, let me screen share.
I don't want to, dude.
Fuck yeah.
I don't want
Let
your
me screen
peer
share.
group.
You gotta see it.
Oh, you're gonna put them on blast.
It puts it all into perspective. Hey, Angel, we gotta blur. Yeah, we're not gonna blur. All right. No, hold on, it's loading. I couldn't even leave feedback. I was like, I have a lot of shit to do. I want to be a good peer, but this is below my line.
How is the structure of the monthly class? Is it nice?
Great.
Or is
great,
it shitty?
yeah. No, it's great.
Like,
There's
does
an
it seem like their
lesson,
curriculum
video lesson.
is honed? Okay.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded?
Yeah, the curriculum's good. For me, I really just, I wanted to see, like, behind-the-scenes Casey. Fascinating. He does the same stupid shit, like, I run into view 4 times because I didn't get the line right. He does that. He'll just stand while, like... the behind-the-scenes is so interesting. Where's my peer group?
I've been thinking about becoming a YouTuber. Still been
Pop,
thinking
you gotta
about it.
become a YouTuber. Okay, ready? Do you get audio or no?
I don't see anything. Oh, well, we'll see.
Are you gonna get audio?
I don't know. Did it give you an option for that? It's still loading your screen.
Yeah, I know. This might not work.
Oh.
There he is.
We're in the
Okay, are you ready?
third dimension.
No, dude, you gotta hear the music. It's like iMovie stock music. Casey's like, the music is so important.
Does Casey see any of these? Like, is there a chance he'd see your
No.
video?
No, Pop.
I'm just getting 1 frame a second.
Is it not playing?
It's a 1 frame a second. You might just have to B-roll after the fact.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I can tell you what just happened. Henry tried to end the screen share and completely hit the leave call button instead of the end screen share. That is my guess. Or his connection blew up. I'm going to go with the former, but we'll leave it up to you. I don't think there's much more. We're trying to figure out what our niche is. This is our conversations every day. It's interesting. That's why it's so fun, because we don't know what the fuck. Oh, he's back.
Were you talking to yourself?
I took a guess. Yeah. My guess was you meant to hit stop screen share and you didn't leave.
I left. I got right out of there. But it says I'm in another tab, so I don't know what's going to happen. The other tab's uploading. Pop, I got to get to work, Pop. This is a disaster, but also really enlightening at the same time, so it's good. But it's a crisis.
No, this is the most fun. It's not a crisis. It's an inflection point. It's
an inflection
stop
point.
And think what the fuck you're doing, and then maybe we pivot. Maybe not. It's not the biggest pivot because we know we have talented people and people want them. Like we want this talent, so there's something there. It's just one of those. Do we want to be? Which direction do we want to focus on? Because we hate having two things at once. Just crush one and then move on to the next. Do we crush YouTube? Or do we crush the content bomb, which we know people would like? And that's kind of what we're incentivizing. So maybe we have to shut down the contest. I don't fucking know what happens. But
no, we can't shut it down.
Hey, if you want to get the updates, subscribe on one of the platforms that you're listening to this shit on. Hey,
there's a call to action.
Hey, this is a business too, right? Do we make money off this podcast yet? It's been like 2 years.
No,
Not
Pop.
yet. All right.
No,
well,
but we are still racing to
this is like a $25,000 experiment. Oh.
Yes, it is. That's the title.
And we got like 5,000 views for.
Yeah, well. All right, Gardaloo, baby.
Hey, hold on. Belky, what's your bet right now? And as a viewer, as a listener, you can bet too. What do you think our CPM will be? Like, I get that doesn't really make sense with clicks, but what is it? For 1,000 views, how much do you think 1,000 views is going to cost? Normally in the ad world, it's like $5 to, I don't know, $20 or something like that. But for us, like for example,
it's going to be a lot, Pop. If we're doing these animated clips, it's going to be a lot.
Wow, we're spending $2,000 a day plus 500 for 100 for the prize. We'll call it 2,000, just round down.
And we're not getting 1,000
but the prize
views.
The prize pool is like 7,000. So
Pop, on TikTok we got like 250 views total.
Okay.
So what's your CPM there? 15 grand?
It's not.
It's not good.
It's supposed to be inverted.
It's not right.
Total views we got like 5,000 and we spent like 2,000. Call it $2,500. So we spent 50 cents a view, which is probably 2 seconds.
And with that, place your bets. Highly animated clips on TikTok. Get your bets in.
Hey, before we shut it down, settle. This is an easier way. We got to caveman it. How many total views do you think we're going to get for spending $25,000? That's the easier way to frame this.
Over 2 weeks with
Hold on,
20 people.
Let me write down my number before you anchor me.
I wasn't going to do it, but I'll do it. I'll put it. I'll get accountable.
Okay.
Well, no, Pop. It just depends, right? If we told everyone no animation tomorrow, I think we'd do a lot better. For instance.
Well, what direction are we going? We're going to tell people
we don't know.
One wow.
We don't know right now.
And the rest is SRT.
We don't know right now.
That's where we're going to go, though. We know we're going to do that in the next. That's our one objective because this shit isn't working. Also, really quick point while we're thinking. Synthesis said they're canceling because they're not getting success in their videos. And we always thought for the longest time, but look at the videos. They're beautiful. Run them as ads, and people are going to notice the brand value. No one gives a fuck about that. They look at the views. That's what they measure everything by. Sure, Saks won't really share all in talk because it doesn't look quite as good. But you just cross that minimum threshold, and then it's all views. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I am interested to see. So Kayat for All In Edits, I told her to do all in talk, but more polished. The goal being something that Saks actually wants to put his name on. Curious what that rebranding looks like.
I'm so curious too. Is it going to be 2 days? I hope. I'm going to say 3 million. 3 million views, and we're going to spend, call it 30,000 just for a round number.
Hey, can I hop on that figure? I like that.
10 times 10. Is that times 100? So that's, how does math work? That's 1 cent. Wait, let me cross some things off.
There's his public math.
That's $3 for 3,000 views. So that's $1. That's $1 per
Dollar
thousand?
CP. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's not bad. If we
That'd
get
actually
that.
be really good. That'd be really good, yeah. But if we're doing clips of Gary Vee, Kanye, Simon Sinek, All In, Will Smith, with those people, we should probably be doing a lot better.
So you're gonna take over 10 million?
I'll take 30 million. I'll 10x you.
30 million! You heard it here first, baby.
All right.
30 million. All right. We'll see you
Write
next
it down.
episode.
Gardeloo.
Cliffhanger.
And for the post-show, we have a response from Julio the landlord. Thanks, Henry. Everything okay. That's it. Happy Monday.
Wait. So this was to the text saying, all good, rent's gonna be late.
Rent's going to be a little late this month. Thanks, Henry. Everything
Wait,
okay.
Keep in mind, he meant to text someone else. So people are
said
gonna
Henry.
show up.
He's tapped.
Is there another Henry? There's got to be another. It's a pretty common name.
Maybe.
Well, someone's gonna get a surprise visit this Wednesday or whatever day that was.
Dude, I hope they pay rent on time. That's all I'm saying.
But does he just ignore the rent?
I think everything with the insulation is okay. Fuck him. And Pop, for a second time today,
Gordon!